EPM, Equity Prime Mortgage, I mean, we couldn't be more excited to have you on board for this upcoming season. A lot of exciting things to come, and like I mentioned before, we're building that opportunity generating system, right? We're going in and we're giving people opportunities, giving people power, empowering them to be more than what they ever thought they could be. And we can do that by having this race team. Emmitt, thank you so much for being on board to make this whole thing happen. And we couldn't do it without you, without EPM making all this happen.
Can't do it without a driver.
It means a lot to have this opportunity to race full-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. It's been a dream of mine to race in NASCAR, ever since I was driving warships in the Middle East. I was out there dreaming about, racing full-time in NASCAR, and now for us to have the opportunity, big thanks to Emmitt Smith, EPM, jumping on board to make this whole thing happen, for everyone to come together as a team, and to not just want to do this to just have us racing on track, but to do all the things that we're going to do off the track to help the communities, help kids, help inspire people who have goals and dreams like mine, so that they can get to the highest level that they can in life. And I'm just super happy and proud to be part of this whole team and this organization and everything we're going to do from here on out.
We're at the beginning of something very exciting. And when Jesse and I and our team reached out to the community, showed them something that they have not seen before, something that they didn't think was possible. Now they know that the doors are open and they're able to get and see this car, sit in it, get a feel for what he does. All of those things are very important. It's a way to reach the community in a totally different way, to bring them into an environment that they thought they were locked out of.
For 7.2 billion people outside of this country, they've always heard of what's the American dream. The American gift is right here. It's embodied right here. It's embodied in this opportunity. It's embodied in all of us. It's not a dream, it's an opportunity. And you're given that because you're given an ecosystem. Not only can we talk about it, we can actually show it, we can embody it, we can bring it together. That's something that we do only through collaboration and bringing people together of all walks of life. We, the 330 million, have it very good, even for those that are struggling, because it's out of that struggle that you actually grow. You'll hear that all the time, that from that struggle of whatever it is how you find greatness, because that struggle actually builds not only character, but immense mental strength that is needed, because not every day is going to be sunshine and rainbows. But still, this is America, and everything is possible here.
Well, you were in for a treat. I've been following Gary for a while, actually, myself. He changed a lot of things for me in my life. In fact, 2 years ago, I met him at the mortgage conference, Fuse in Las Vegas. I was so fortunate to get to do the VIP thing, and it was my turn to go up. And my knees were shaking, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I get up there, and he's like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, listen, my knees are shaking like a bitch, and I'm just trying not to puke on you right now. Will you sign my book, please? He did. How do you get somewhere you've never been? You're not going to want to miss this, guys. If I'm so glad those of you that are still here, if you're thinking about leaving, don't. How do you get somewhere you've never been? How do you get somewhere you've never seen somebody go? How do you know it's possible? It takes people to step out and go first and be willing to be seen to go first. Be willing to fail miserably in front of others in that pursuit of going first. Over the years, it has become critically important for businesses to create teams about diversity. An intentional push to allow people to make ways for people to do something for the first time, and then for those people to stand in the places so that other people like them can see what can be done. I personally am so excited for this next panel. I'd first like to introduce you to the VP of Diversity, Delilah Ramos. Joining her is none other than NFL Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith. Hello, Mr. Smith. and NASCAR driver Jesse Iwuji.
Welcome,
Hello.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hello.
Y'all don't mind if I drop a couple F-bombs, do you?
Well, that's a hard, right? That's a hard act to follow,
Oh,
Gary
yeah.
V.
Gary's amazing. He's awesome. I follow him. That was pretty cool to meet him actually
Jesse was like, get a picture with me. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for spending some time and coming to EPMX. We're very proud to have you, everyone. And so we're going to kick it off and start it off. So you guys have collaborated, and you guys joined together for NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit, how you guys collaborated and why?
Well, I think the real reason why, I'm going to let Jesse tell you how we got together, but I'm going to tell you the reasoning behind it is because we saw an opportunity for us to affect an area that did not have many African Americans, let alone Latinos and any other race, if you will, within this particular space. And when there's an opening or an opportunity like that arises, me personally as an investor and as a developer and as an owner of my own enterprise, try to take advantage of those situations. And fortunately for me, a good friend of ours who happened to be Jesse's manager right now knew me and from my past, and we reconnected and introduced me to Jesse, and the opportunity from there started to grow because I got a chance to learn a lot about who Jesse was as a young man, but not only that, but his ambitions as a NASCAR driver. And so for me, it was easy to get behind him and support him because of what he wanted to do. I'm a firm believer is if there's an opportunity to help another person advance, and not only that, but create space for others to follow, it might be the right thing for me to get involved with. And so Jesse is that guy. And so we're partnered together to bring a little bit more, not only visibility, but also create space for others to follow. The one thing I do believe, we both are standing on the shoulders of giants, whether it's in the sports football field or even in the NASCAR field. There are some NASCAR African-American men who came before Jesse and I, and will come after us that will do great things in the sport. And so opportunities are out there, and we just need to, that's all we're ever asking for is an opportunity to get involved so we can showcase our talents and allow our talents to speak for itself. And the content of our character is extremely important. And so therefore, when we have chances and opportunities to do something that's powerful as being involved with NASCAR and affecting change in the most positive way, that's one of the things I love getting involved with.
Yeah, and thank you, Emmitt. And it's been an absolute blessing to have the opportunity to partner with Emmitt. A great, 22 years ago, almost to the day, when we made the announcement that we're starting this race team in NASCAR. It was in 1999 when I was basically starting my football journey, and I was in 7th grade, and I didn't know anything about football at all. And my dad said, hey, you're going to be playing running back on the team, so watch this guy. His name is Emmitt Smith, plays for Dallas Cowboys, number 22. Watch him, and that's the position you're going to be playing, Jesse. And I decided to be number 22 years ago. And now, 22 years later, we made the announcement that we're starting this NASCAR team in 2022. And we're just looking forward to Thank you. Looking forward to just really using this platform that we're going to have in NASCAR to create an opportunity-generating system. That's the whole goal with the thing. At the end of the day, yeah, we're going to have fun. We're going to be on track. We're going to be racing. We're going to be going all over the country doing all this. But at the end of the day, we wanted to have this ownership in NASCAR because I could have kept on just running for all these different teams all over the sport for the rest of my career. And when it was all done, guess what? We wouldn't have had anything. We would have been done. Gone, Jesse gone, next person up, and that's it. But instead, we wanted to build a team that we're going to have forever, something that we're going to have to build a lasting legacy. Because at the end of the day, we weren't just looking to build a skyscraper, we were looking to build a skyline. And the only way to do that is to have ownership. So we're starting this team in NASCAR, building this opportunity-generating system so that people who would have never even thought they would have an opportunity or a chance in the sport we can figure out ways to give them these opportunities. People who are transitioning military members, people of color, people of different genders. We want to be able to break those different narratives, all the narratives that say that only this type of person or this type of gender or this type of whatever can be in a sport. We're looking to break that. We're looking to help diversify NASCAR, and the only way to do it is if you actually have your own ownership, you have your own team, and that's what we're doing together with Emmitt.
And you mentioned something, so Jesse has a very strong military background. You're still currently in the reserves, is that right? Thank you so much for your service as well, right? You have shifted from military to NASCAR. How has that transition been?
It's been a crazy transition, actually. So, a lot of you are probably wondering, how does this guy go from driving warships in the Middle East to racing at 190, 180, 200 miles per hour in NASCAR? I don't come from a racing family. For those of you who know anything about racing, you probably know that people who are looking to become a professional driver typically start at age 5, 6, 7 years old, racing go-karts and working their way up. They're homeschooled. Their whole life is dedicated towards racing. For me, my parents are both Nigerian. They're immigrants from Nigeria, came here with absolutely nothing, but they knew only one thing, and that was to succeed because they had no opportunity in Nigeria, but they knew everything was here. They got over here, had me and my 2 brothers and my sister. We grew up in Dallas, Texas. Go Cowboys. Grew up in Dallas, Texas. Playing football in high school, my goal was to get better and better, eventually play college football. I reached that goal, got recruited by the Naval Academy, went to Naval Academy 2006 to 2010, played football there, ran track, graduated in 2010, became a surface warfare officer in the Navy. I was on the ships. And when I was done with football, I needed like this exciting thing to do. I needed something else to keep doing. And I liked cars and racing my whole life. I thought it was always cool. So I used to take my personal cars to local tracks near me in Southern California doing these open track days, things that anybody can do. After a few years of that, finally one day I was literally sitting in my room, January 2014. I pulled my whiteboard off my wall, erased whatever was on it, and I was going to write basically my next big goal in life. And I wrote, I want to become a professional race car driver. I put it back on my wall, and that day, in January 2014, that's when the journey began. From there, I didn't know where to go, what to do. I didn't see people like me in racing, but for some reason, I kept on envisioning myself becoming a race car driver. God put it in my mind that, hey, Jesse, you're going to become this. I kept on seeing it every single day, and because I kept on seeing it and I could see it for myself, that meant that I could become it. So then I started putting the energy every single day, researching, grinding, trying to figure out how to get in the sport, learning why people got in, how people got out, what kept them in, all that stuff, put it together, and then started piecing together, figuring out how to find the funding. I didn't come from a rich family at all. I didn't have parents who could just write me a check to go racing. I had to figure it out. So while still active duty, I started a business on the side to make extra money. Any extra money I made from that, I used to sponsor myself just to get into racing. And that was just the beginning and the grind until my story got out there more, became more marketable. Different companies started seeing it, different media agencies, all these different folks started taking notice of this journey, and then from there it started growing, allowing me to work my way up the sport. But it hasn't been easy at all. I'm still serving to this day because I'm a firm believer that I need to continue to do my part in this country so that we can maintain the freedoms that we have. Like, there's other countries out there. Thank you. There's other countries out there that do not have this kind of freedom. For all of you, for males and females, different people from different colors, religions, for all of you to be sitting right here, you are very, very fortunate. There's a lot of places that won't even allow this right here, and we can actually sit here, talk to each other, have fellowship, share dreams, share passions, share goals, share wisdom. We can do all that stuff right here because we live in the greatest country in the entire world. And I want to make sure I'm continuing to do my part by serving the military. Emmitt, he's been on board with this team with everything we've had, all the vision, everything. Emmitt is so on board with all we're doing and empowering us, because at the end of the day, we're all here to empower people more so that they can achieve whatever they're achieving in life, because at the end of the day, if you support dreams, your dreams will come true too.
We're going to put some...
I was about to say, I'm like, that's it, we're done, Emmitt. We could just get off stage.
we're going to put some missiles in his NASCAR as he's driving around, so he can blow some guys off the track.
That is so powerful.
Now you understand why we partners. I found somebody that has just as much passion for life and people as I do. And
That just so came out. That is awesome. That is awesome. Do you want to say anything on that?
do I need to say anything after that?
He fires me up. He fires me up. I listen to him. He fires me up. You know, he listens to me. I
It's
fire
the
him
yin
up.
and the yang up here. I mean,
I see it. I see it. That's awesome. I'm really happy for you guys. NASCAR has become attractive. It's become hot. You have owners now coming in, Michael Jordan, Nelly, Pitbull, right?
Yeah.
Tell us what opportunities are in NASCAR and opportunities for people like us, for people of color.
Well, I'm going to let Jesse tell you more about what opportunities are within NASCAR because I'm not the technical guy when it comes down to NASCAR. I don't know how to drive a NASCAR, don't want to drive one, don't want to go 100 and some odd miles an hour.
I'm going to get him in the seat one day.
No, that's not going to happen. I'm going to watch you go around the track and pray for you to come back in safe. And then after that, we're going to have a party. So I'm not changing no tires. I'm not doing none of that stuff. So when it comes down to the technicalities of this, it's on him. I'm going to let him explain to you. There are many opportunities. Obviously, ownership is one of those opportunities. But there are other things, too, as well, and that Jesse can talk about. It's his job to know all of that. My job is to go out and get sponsorships, make people happy, shake hands, kiss babies, and just entertain folks.
So, Jesse, opportunities.
Yes. There are a lot of opportunities in NASCAR. So, yes, NASCAR, the name, the brand, has definitely been showing up in the media a lot more over the last couple years. For the longest time, everyone thought that NASCAR was only for one type of person, right? White, Caucasian, male, right? Well, that's far from the truth. It's for everybody. NASCAR has been inclusive for a while. Maybe people haven't seen it or maybe people didn't understand. I remember the first time I went to my first ever NASCAR race, I got to go in the pits and I had garage passes. And I went alone. I didn't have anyone to go with me because no one believed in my journey. No one thought that I was ever going to make it. I was like, I'm going to go to a race and start checking this stuff out. I get there day one, start walking through the spectator lot and all that stuff in the RVs, and everything I saw was Confederate flag, Confederate flag, Confederate flag. And some people ask me, like, doesn't that scare you? I'm like, no, it doesn't, because even though I did see all those flags up, everyone actually was pretty nice to me. Everyone was pretty welcoming to me. So I knew that something was there. I'm like, you know what? I do belong here. Like, I know it doesn't look like it from the outside, but I do belong here. And then as I started peeling it back a little bit more, I started noticing that there are people of color, there are different genders here in NASCAR. We now have females on the pit crews. They're not just the travel lady anymore. They're not just the accounting lady anymore. We have females literally on the pit crew jumping over the wall as a 3,500-pound vehicle is coming into a small box at 60 miles per hour, females jumping over and changing tires. They're not just like handing a tire over to someone. They're literally pulling tires off these cars, heavy 40, 50-pound tires, and changing these things themselves. And
Trust
you know what?
me, they're not wearing clip-on nails neither.
Exactly. And they're beating the boys, they're beating the guys while doing it. These females are killing it. There are a lot of opportunities in sports. So what we want to do with our team is continue to promote those opportunities, continue to give people opportunities. Right now, we are in our infancy. We're still growing, we're still building. We have a lot of programs, a lot of things that we want to put in place. It's not going to happen day one because we're a brand new team and we got a lot to do to get there. But these are the systems that we are going to create. We're going to do different things like bringing esports to kids in different city communities. We can go to a bunch of kids from, Chicago and try to educate them on this and that, and maybe they won't really take it on board because they don't want to sit there in a classroom setting and just get educated. But if we bring motorsports in the form of esports to them, all of a sudden it's this gaming thing where we can still educate them but do it in a fun way. All of a sudden they're a lot more receptive, and now we can actually give them the exposure to motorsports, show them STEM, show them all the different things that are going on so that they're a lot more intrigued and maybe they can find their way into a sport through what we have going on. There's a lot of different ways of doing it, but yes, there's opportunities for all different sorts of people, no matter what your color is, no matter where you come from. There are opportunities in this sport, and the only way to actually affect change for us is for us to have our ownership together and give these opportunities to people.
Yep.
There's power in ownership, huh?
Has to be. That's the only way. Most of the change occurs. I mean, some people say it's from the bottom up. No, it's from the top down.
Yep.
When opportunities are created by the ownership of any organization that permeates itself throughout the culture of that organization, then filters its way back out into the community. When you start talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, diversity can happen within the organization at the top, at the C-level positions, but it also the equity component has to reach the people that you're trying to reach, and which is the community which we all serve. And so as an owner, it is our job and our responsibility to create opportunities for others to come in. And that's what Jesse and I are committed to trying to do.
That is beautiful. And I'm happy to hear you mentioned women jumping the walls
Yep.
with no press on nails.
No
Not
press
really.
on nails.
Okay.
You can't do
Okay.
that.
Do you see women becoming owners in the future? Do you guys see women doing
Oh, yeah.
more?
There's no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, no, as far as, women becoming owners in NASCAR, I can't wait till that happens. I think we're very close. If you look at Dale Earnhardt Jr., his NASCAR Xfinity Series team, his sister is basically running the show. I remember when we were starting this team, I reached out to Dale, I hit him up, I texted him, I said, hey, Dale, we're starting a race team. You are somebody I've looked up to, throughout my last few years of racing. You're a legend in the sport. Can you help me? Can you give me some advice? And he texted me back. He was like, dude, that's awesome that you're doing this, but honestly, talk to my sister because she's the one who runs the show for my team. And I was like, roger that. And we reached out to her, and she's been absolutely amazing. Her wealth of knowledge, just everything she knows about the sport, and once again, she's a female, right? People would normally think that, oh, how would a female know anything about racing? It's a man's sport, whatever. No, that's not true at all.
It's because NASCAR haven't done a good job of promoting diversity. I mean, it sits right there within it, but you actually have to bring it to the top and start talking about the people and the males and the females, the different genders that are actually doing great things within the NASCAR industry to attract others. You talked about it earlier. You didn't see many of us on the track, so we didn't think it was even possible for us to get in there. When you see those Confederate flags, you're like, okay, that's sign number one not to go that direction. But courage would have you step right into the mix in spite of those things, which you did, and realize that, hey, there is tremendous opportunity. Those flags are there, symbols of something, but everybody don't have that carnage in their hearts. People are really generally open to helping others become successful, and that's what it is. It's just about the exposure of the diversity within NASCAR that NASCAR has to get right.
I love it. And I love how, what is it, Dale Earnhardt?
Dale Earnhardt Jr.,
Yeah,
yeah.
his sister runs.
Yeah,
his
Kelly.
team. You hear that,
Kelly
lady?
runs
Who
the
run
show.
the world?
I don't even hit up
Who
Dale
run the
anymore. I just go
world?
straight to Kelly.
I knew it was coming sooner or later. Yeah, girls around the world. I mean, we just part of it.
That's right. When we were chit-chatting in the back, I noticed a lot of, we didn't talk about this. This is just coming up. Guys, the passion, you guys, it just comes through you. It shines through you. And I know I have this on my heart, being in our mortgage space, but do you have it on your heart to just pay it forward and open doors and opportunities for people that don't have it, that don't know about NASCAR or any opportunities within NASCAR? Do you have that?
There's no doubt we have it. I don't get involved with something that I'm not passionate about. I'm very passionate about this young man's future and this young man's dream. He's passionate about what he wants to do. Therefore, I'm behind him 125,000%. Because in order to affect change, you have to get involved some way, shape, or form. You just cannot sit on the sideline and, oh, it's for the next person to do, the next person to do. You've been chosen to do this because you have grabbed it, the mantle, and you're running with it. And while you're chosen, I think our paths cross for a certain reason. The 22 is not a mistake. It's not a mistake. I don't believe mistakes actually happen.
No coincidences. Remember we talked about that?
It is what it is. And so for us, I've always taken the responsibility of knowing that the further and further I climb the ladder, the, the humility that I've had throughout my whole entire life to remind me of where I come from, and I'm not the only one that should be at where I'm at on this ladder. There's room for a lot of folks, but there's only room for those who are willing to go take it. But then once you get there, you also have to have the humility to know that you have the responsibility to not only stand on the shoulders of giants that came before you, paved the way for you to even do these things, but also the responsibility to give back to those who are looking to you for answers, those who are looking to you for inspirations, those who are looking to you for advice and wisdom, because it's the process that I've come to learn that I value more than anything else. The process of doing it, the process of learning how to do it, the process of learning and failing at something and getting back up and doing it again so I understand what it's like to lose. And so for us, we are extremely passionate, number one, about life. Number two, about our families. Number three, about our responsibility back to mankind. The way I see it, God blessed me with the talent to bring excitement and joy to each and every person out there. But he also blessed me with the gift to bring peace and happiness and joy and opportunities to others as well. And so his gift to me was my gift to a lot of folks, but my gift back to him is how I treat people and how I help people. And I think that's how Jesse and I look at this. It is our responsibilities. If we are not the very first, but we are one about 13 or 15 to do what we're trying to do. Now, there's been many others that have come before us that you might not even know their names. But these are folks that came through a time where if they won a race, they never announced who won until 24 hours later, so that guy can get out of town, because that guy could have been murdered or could have been things could have happened back during that time. But that guy had the courage to step foot and get on that track and compete with others. Anytime you have a sport, it is not a sport unless you have diversity, equity, and inclusion in it.
That's right.
It's a cult if you just got one thing going. It's really not a sport at all. It's just a good old boys network, and it's for us, only for us. This is not FUBU. This is an opportunity for everybody. So, and that's the way we look at things, as having the responsibility to not only do what Tom Bodine said, we're going to leave the lights on and allow us to find their way in. Yeah.
So when you help others achieve their dreams, your dreams will come true too. That's something me and Emmitt believe in. With this race team, there's just so many different opportunities for us to utilize this opportunity generating system to help others. But alluding to kind of what Emmitt was saying, there's a lot of people out there who want to succeed in life. They have a lot of desire, right? But we can't confuse desire with ambition. There is a difference between desire and ambition. Desire is when you want. Maybe you see yourself becoming something. Ambition is actually when you have relentless action, faith, every single day. When you're willing to grind, get beat up, get kicked, get knocked down, get punted, whatever it is, every single day, and you get back up and you continue to push forward. That's what we do, because that's the only way to reach success. But there's a lot of people out there who won't even participate in their own rescue. They have a goal, they have a dream, they see themselves being whatever, but they will not do what's necessary to participate in their own rescue. I tell people this little quote, which is somewhat harsh, but it's true. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Now don't take that literally. I'm not saying everyone needs to go die. But basically what it means is there's necessary things you have to do to accomplish your goals and dreams. And it has nothing to do with, you don't go put other people down, you don't go take away from other people, but there is a grind that it takes every single day. When you're building a skyscraper, right? Skyscrapers need a very tough foundation to be high, to have a high one, right? The higher you want to go, the deeper you're going to have to dig. And that's just how life is. That's how it is when you're grinding to make anything happen in life. But as you're building that skyscraper, and we're trying to build a skyline, because we're not just trying to build one building, we're trying to build opportunities for all. As you're building, as you're grinding, don't forget to help people. Don't forget to be there for others. Be kind. Just like Gary Vee said, just be nice. Be kind. Flat out, just be nice. Be kind. Help others, because you're going to help them reach their goals. People are always going to be looking up to you no matter what your goal is. Yes, we're sitting up here, Hall of Fame, greatest ever running back. We're starting this NASCAR team. We're on the big stage and all that stuff. Yeah, we might look cool and all that, but at the end of the day, what you're doing is cool too. Whatever your goal is cool to someone else. Someone else is looking up to you every single day. You might never know them. You might never find out about them, but someone is looking up to you. As long as you are pursuing something higher than wherever you're at right now, I swear to you, someone else is looking at you, watching you, and wanting to be like you, or at least using your energy and using everything that you're doing to help inspire them. And that is why you cannot quit. Because when you quit, you have now let them down, and now they cannot say yes to themselves anymore. They can't say yes to their goals. They can't say yes to their dreams. Every single day we've been grinding on this journey, even just to start the race team, or even just through my journey in life to become a NASCAR driver. We're grinding, doing all this stuff. And there's a lot of days where I'm like, man, is this really worth it? Like, it would be so much easier if I just go focus on this and go do that and that. And I said, I can't quit. There's someone out there looking up to me, using me as their inspiration and their energy. And if I was to quit to let all these people down, they stop. They can't say yes anymore to their goals and dreams. They need someone who's actually going out there and achieving something to inspire them. So you are inspired. Every single one of you who are going after something higher than where you're at right now, someone else is looking up to you. Someone else is using you as inspiration. You cannot quit, because the moment you do, they no longer give themselves permission to say yes to their goals and dreams.
Can I get an amen? Amen. You guys, I love your energy. I absolutely love it.
You got to bring young energy to the room. I mean, I'm at 52, so I needed that young energy.
You guys, we are going to open it up. We got a few minutes left. We're going to open to a little Q&A. Does anyone have a couple of questions for Jesse and Emmitt? Oh, blue shirt. I think it's blue.
I'm good. How are you?
Guys, thank you so much for representing EPM as well. Diversity is a huge thing for us. My question is for you, Emmitt. I'm a father of a young daughter. I know you played such an active role with your children and building a foundation for their success. Can you give me any pointers in terms of what are a couple things to focus on? Just kind of guide my daughter through.
I would just say.
I don't need the mic. I'm pretty loud already.
No, I heard you clearly. One of the things I would say is be present. Be present with her. Whatever she wants to sit down or have a conversation, at least be present in the moment. Drop everything else, give her undivided attention, and ask questions, and allow her to respond. Try not to finish the sentences for her. And ask her the fundamental question. Do you need some advice on this? Let her talk and be there to listen. And also create moments where you and her can have one-on-one time away from everyone else, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or even dinner. She needs all those things.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. You just have one?
No, sir. I have an 18-year-old as well. So
Well, the
additional
same thing?
advice for an older parent that's tired every night.
Bro, I get it. I have 5, and I had to divide myself 5. I'm sorry, I got 6. At the time I was married, so I had to divide myself 6 different ways.
Yes, sir.
After having a 14-hour day, imagine that.
Thank you very much.
No, but yeah, those are things I'm learning right now, and they are very, very important to young people, whether it's girls or boys. It's the same way. We have to learn how to put things down and be present.
Right there. What's your question?
Hey, Emmitt, this is Ben. Hey, it's a pleasure to have both of you on stage, all 3 of you guys, so thank you very much for being here. A little nervous speaking.
I'm not jumping down to hit you, bro, so you shouldn't be that nervous.
Right. I have a 12-year-old son, and I've coached him since he was 3 years old, baseball, football, basketball. One of the things that we've noticed over the past maybe year or two is just his confidence went from like way up here to down here. And I don't know if that's, dad coaching. I don't know if that's, just maybe something that happens at this age. But, so I guess I'm looking maybe some pointers to see if you ever had some times in your life. Maybe
Two things.
Yep.
Off the bat. Number one, it's time for someone else to coach him.
Ooh.
That's number one. Number two, try to allow him to start to, or try to wean him away from you. I think it's important when we are coached by different folks, because then we have a great appreciation for great coaching and not so great coaching. Not to say that you're not a great coach, because obviously you've done a great job up to this point. Now it's time to start teaching him how to fly and allowing him to go and starting to have conversations with him just like you would, like I just talked about with the daughter. Those conversations could be around, where does he want to go? Maybe he doesn't even want to play sports anymore. He might be doing it just because you are pushing it. So it's time to really get real with yourself and also real with him to figure out what it is that he truly wants to do. And whatever it is, let him know that you're going to be there to support him. And you're going to be there to support him in a different kind of role, because you want him to be able to make those decisions in terms of where he want to go, so he can learn how to trust his own decision making. Sorry.
Valuable advice, sir.
No, hey, I appreciate that.
No, you're welcome.
Hey, it's always good to hear the truth sometimes, right?
Hey, I had to hear it myself. So, but yeah.
I think we have one gentleman up here.
Hi, I'm George.
Hey, George.
I've been a mortgage broker for 25 years. I'm probably one of the old dogs around the room here. But kind of like Emmitt, when you came up through your career, you always have those people that were those great mentors and those people that always had your back and you could go through. And I've always felt that's always been a part of my own success, is having those people. And it is so refreshing to see, like with Jesse, having a mentor like you or the people around. And that's kind of like how we're set up here. A lot of people like myself, we have a fun time with the other our other mortgage brokers here, the new guys. They're always coming up and wanting, hey, how do you do this and how do you do that? But as far as Emmitt being a mentor, how does that play in your post now athletic career? And is that importance there with being able to have somebody you can take under your wing? I had a boss that recently passed away. He was kind of my big business mentor, and he said his biggest pride was developing people.
Right. First and foremost, mentoring is extremely important, or people of influence is extremely important in everyone's life. Your sphere of influence is the thing that really drives a lot of things that we all do, because we've had someone that we either looked up to, admired, or even sat down and even had great, tremendous conversations with. I think the blessing that I can bring to Jesse is the blessings that was given to me. Those blessings are and were from people like Roger Staubach, who taught me a lot about the real estate business. People like Jerry Jones, who taught me about marketing and leveraging my brand. People like Magic Johnson, who taught me how to approach not only contracts, but also becoming an urban developer, but also taking my skills to the suburban part of town as well. I'm not just an African-American urban developer in the black neighborhood. I see suburban opportunities just as well as I see inner city opportunities. So, and even taking wisdom from Michael Jordan himself. So all of those folks I encountered late in my career, or early in my career, but late in life, in my middle part of my life. But before that, there were great folks that taught me a lot about perseverance, humility, goal setting, sharing the spotlight with others, and knowing that no one becomes successful by themselves. And so taking all of those things, along with the fundamentals of work ethic and everything else, to get to this place where I'm at right now, 3 Super Bowls, becoming an all-time leading rusher, winning Dancing with the Stars, doing all those things. It's that process that I'm talking about that I love the most, because it's this same old process that I want to give back. It's that process that allowed me to have the experience of feeling the challenges of failing. Failing to feel the challenges of getting up. It's the feeling of being able to share success with others and knowing that I played a small part in it. Some people may say I played a big part, but that's on them to say that, not for me to say it. But playing a small part in anyone's life and impacting anyone's life is the greatest gift that we can ever give back to somebody. So taking everything out of life and making it for myself is the most selfish thing anybody could ever do. And so I never wanted to experience what being selfish is all about. I have three younger brothers and 2 older sisters. So learning how to share was just part of our neighborhood, just part of our life. And when you become a football player and you're on a football team, you share, and I learned that through my high school coach, Dwight Thomas, you share the spotlight with those guys up front and your teammates, because I didn't block for myself. I didn't hand it to myself, and I didn't throw the ball to myself. So success is there to be shared. It's not an all or nothing thing. It's there to be shared with those who are willing to pay the price for it, work hard for it, and be focused and committed and dedicated to your mission, and never, ever quitting. Also, never be satisfied with anything, because the day that you do is the day that the growing will stop.
And with that, sorry. Okay. What? Go ahead.
Oh,
What question?
Jesse,
Yes.
first off, I want to thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
So my question is also going to be geared around your service. I spent 8 years in the Army Reserves. I exited in 2019.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So my question is, I noticed that she stated that you're currently still in the reserves.
Yeah.
Right? And you're building a team with Emmitt and you're racing. I exited, and the reason I didn't go back, I also got married in 2019, but it was more to focus on my business. I own a mortgage shop. All right, it's to focus on my business and grow. How do you balance still? Because I truly believe exactly what you believe, that we have a duty to our country.
Yeah.
And if I could figure out the balance of family, work, and still serving, I'll join the Army Reserves again today.
Yeah.
How do you
Ooh.
balance it all?
that's a good
All
one.
right,
No pressure,
Can
Jesse.
I get you to join the Navy Reserves, maybe?
That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, no, so balance is tough. There's 24 hours in a day, right? So there's a lot of people out there who believe the whole thing on like, oh yeah, you need at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep to be healthy every single day. I do about 6 to 7. I'm not saying you got to go out there and sleep only 3 hours or so, whatever, but if maybe 6 to 7 isn't enough for you, well, or maybe it's, if it's too little, whatever, then sleep faster, right? So, but no, to be real, balance is key, right? So you're going to have, especially when you have family, right? Everybody wants your attention, right? And what I've learned is it is okay to have a lot of priorities. Do not let anyone ever tell you that you should only have one priority and that's it. That's not true. We live in 2022 right now. We're just living in a world where we have a lot of stuff going on. So it's okay to have multiple priorities. But whatever your priorities are and you're working on that particular priority, make that priority your number one priority while working on that priority. And then when you move on to the next, make that your number one priority while working on that priority. So I divide out my days where, a particular time where I spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, on this part of the business, and then this and this and that. I keep spreading my days out like that. I have fitness to deal with. I got 4 different businesses I'm running. I got a trucking company. I do real estate investing. I have an esports business. I have an events company. I have a NASCAR team, I guess now.
You guessed?
You guessed?
I have a NASCAR team now. A lot of different things going on, and I'm driving, so it's a lot. It is a lot to deal with, and I am engaged. I have a fiance, and she demands a certain amount of my time too, and I haven't given her enough, I would say. A lot of times I have not been emotionally available,
And that's affected the relationship. And I'm sure a lot of you who are busy grinding out there, you know, a lot of the guys out here, we're conquerors. We're going out there trying to conquer the day every single day. We're trying to build
Y'all
the
women
business,
too.
build your
Y'all
life.
women too. Y'all got to be
Women too.
emotionally available
Well, I was going
too.
to get there. It's not just guys too, it's women too, because there's a lot of powerful females in this room right now. I can feel it right now. That's why you're all here. I can
That's right.
feel the energy. There's a lot of powerful
I need some of that emotional love too.
Well, we're all out there grinding. We're all out there grinding. We're all putting our attention towards a lot of different things. But I think where we get into trouble is all the different priorities we have. We're not making each priority our number one priority while working on it. If you're working on your business, it's hard to make her your number one priority too at that same time, and the reserves your number one priority. You gotta focus on one and then move to the next, and you have to have someone and a family and people around you who understand what that schedule is for you every single day, and they have to understand that you're going after bigger and better things, not just for you, but going after it for the whole family, right? So it's hard. It's not easy at all. But I think just doing your best to stay very disciplined on a particular type of schedule where you can have all your priorities happen in a day and spread that out every single day, I think that's going to be super helpful. So I know it's easy for me to say right here, but it's just something that has to be done, and it's not easy.
Bro, I would say start early in the morning.
Yeah.
Get up early. If you have to
Sleep
get up
faster.
sleep. Go to sleep early. Get up early. I mean, so create more hours in the day. Beat the sun up, and you know how to do that because you're an Army guy. So, like I told Jesse and others one time, I like to do more before 6 a.m. than most people do all day. And so doing that creates more time. And most of the time, wife is going to be asleep, kids going to be asleep. It's just going to be you and whatever it is that you're working on that early in the morning. And by the time they get up, you can run them to school. She'll be happy. You'll get that quality time in that car with them, and you'll be back doing whatever it is that you want to do while everybody's doing their thing while they're out most of the day. And if you get a break, you can go take her to lunch, and then get back to doing what you need to do, and then get picking up the kids, and then before you know it, the whole day is done. And so, but I get it. Balance is extremely hard to do, especially when something is real good and you got to put those hours in and you know it's going to pay big dividends in the end. Family members understand those things, but it's the consistency that we all are looking for and the balance that we all are looking for that people can really buy into. When they know dad is going to be home at 5 o'clock, everybody's looking forward to seeing daddy come home at 5 o'clock. If daddy does not show up at 5, everybody's like, what's going on? Including mama. Including mama. And so, but that's what I would say in terms of that, because that's a great question for busy people.
Yeah.
Is that balance?
Everybody
I would say,
That is a good question.
I mean, I like to ride my bike. I get out early in the morning. If I'm going 50 miles, I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning so I can be back by 6:30 or 7. And that gives me enough time to shower and get ready to take Elijah to school if I needed to. And if I'm going less than that, then still 4 or 5 o'clock would be good. But still, I'm up early enough to where I can get a lot done.
And Jesse, what did I tell you? What advice did I give you in the back with your
Beyonce,
with your
if she's ever
fiancé?
upset, if I haven't been emotionally available for her enough, bring back tacos.
That's right.
Boom.
We'll try that.
And with that, you guys, we are ending our session here. I want to thank you, all of us here. We thank you from EPM, and we support you. God bless you guys.
Thank you, guys. Y'all be good.